The 2023 season officially came to wraps as the Chiefs took care of the 49ers in Super Bowl 58. So it's time for our post-Super Bowl mock draft here on Chicago Bears Now. It's our 15th rendition of a mock draft, which is outrageous. Welcome to Bears Now. I'm Harrison Graham. Let's dive into it. Caleb Williams, number 1 overall pick. I'm sticking with this for now. You know, I just think the more the reports come in, the more evidence we see that they're going to draft the QB number 1. I think they're going to evaluate other quarterbacks. It's still a fluid situation, but I just find it hard to believe that Ryan Poles, who, by the way, helped draft Patrick Mahomes, is not going to want to draft his own quarterback with this opportunity. And Caleb Williams is sitting there. I do think he is the best QB prospect in this draft. A lot of experience, a lot of production, Heisman Trophy winner. Teammates and coaches have been raving about him publicly as of late. Obviously, the Bears got to check off on him in terms of how they feel he can be as a leader and a person and all that stuff. But if that stuff all checks out, which there's no evidence it won't, I do think there's a very good chance that he is going to be the pick. Now, pretend you're the general manager. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. Should the Chicago Bears draft Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. Trade alert! Da-na-na, da-na-na. The Seahawks come calling, and I am answering. We trade 9 to Seattle for 16.78 and a future second-round pick in next year's draft. And the reason I went down here is the 3 players I really like for the Bears at number 9 are all gone. Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, Brock Bowers were all gone. So I'm going to trade down, get a couple extra picks here, and still get Brian Thomas with the 16th pick, the other LSU receiver. I think he's the 4th best receiver in this draft. And I think he projects as a really good number 2 in the NFL because he's got good size. His straight line speed is fantastic as well. I'm a big fan of Brian Thomas's game as you look at his production last year at LSU. Over 17 yards a catch, 17 touchdowns. He just blew past people a lot of the time on those slot fades that LSU like to run. He played slot, he played outside. And again, like you look at what the Bears have at receiver, I expect them to add at least 2 receivers. You got DJ Moore. I would expect them to get a receiver in free agency, maybe more of like that wide receiver 3 type. We've talked about Curtis Samuel quite a bit. I would like that addition. And then you try to get that number 2 guy in the draft. I think Brian Thomas is probably a little bit more raw than like a Neighbors or a Dunze, but I still think he could be a number 2 as a rookie. He's got great size at 6'4", 205. Great vertical threat. He accelerates as well. He flashes strong route running. I don't think the route tree is as complete as some of these other draft prospects, but you see flashes of it. Not a great contested catch guy for being 6'4". That's a bit of a downside. Like a lot of his deep ball catches, he's just beating people. So he needs to win one-on-one. I mean, that's going to be the thing with him in the NFL. Maybe he can add some weight. He can improve as a contested catch guy, but that's not really what he's known for. Big fan of his game. I think he's the 4th best receiver in this draft, and it should be a really good number 2 in the NFL. I'm trading down again here. With the Indianapolis Colts, no second-round pick. We're all the way to pick number 75. I send the Colts 75 for 82 and 117. Drop 7 spots, pick up a 4th. Certainly more than happy to do just that. We'll tell you what we do with our upcoming selections here in just a moment. But first, we are sponsored by Game Time. Football season might be over, but there's still plenty of events to attend. Bowls, games, concerts, theater events, and a whole lot more. Go check out the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets for the best price guaranteed. You look at the Bulls' upcoming slate and the best ticket prices available. Go check them out right now. Once you download Game Time from your app store, use promo code BearsChat. That's going to get you $20 off. Their goal for you is to have the most painless and stress-free process possible when purchasing your tickets. And trust me, based on my experience, that is the case. What's cool about Game Time as well, here's an example from football season. You can flash that last one, Rolly. You can see the exact vantage points of where your tickets are going to be, regardless of the stadium. Like, if you're looking at row, J, or row 22 in section 305J, it's going to show you your exact vantage point. Because there's nothing worse than getting to a stadium after you buy a ticket and you're like, I can't see a damn thing. Well, with Game Time, it's going to show you exactly where the seat is. So check it out. Promo code BearsChat. Get you $20 off when you create a new account when you download the Game Time app. So go do that in your app store. Last minute tickets for the lowest price guaranteed with Game Time. Go check them out today. All right, so pick 78, which I picked up earlier as well with Seattle. Tykee Smith, the safety out of Georgia. We've taken Javon Bullard a few times out of Georgia, but he was already gone at 75, which is part of the reason why I traded down. I like Smith as well. He's only 5'10", so he's a little bit smaller. I wonder if he's kind of a nickel safety hybrid in the NFL, so it could just depend on how the Bears evaluate him. But his coverage grade was excellent this year. He had 4 interceptions, a couple of breakups. They would bring him on some blitzes sometime as well, so he did a little bit of everything for the Bulldogs. And again, like Eddie Jackson's future is muddy at best. We talked about this yesterday. Eddie Jackson tweeted this out, new beginnings. He also put on his Instagram story basically saying, it's all love, Chi-Town. Like, to me, that felt like a message like he knows there's a pretty good chance he's going to get cut due to his salary cap situation of an over $18 million cap hit this year. Bears can save over $12.5 million. The downside of cutting Eddie Jackson is, of course, you do have to replace him. So I think a guy like in the middle rounds could make sense. Maybe they sign like a Geno Stone in free agency. That could be an option as well. But in this case, I went ahead and took Smith out of Georgia. Round 3, pick number 82, Leonard Taylor III. He kind of projects as a 3-tech. Now, you know, what the Bears do at defensive tackle this offseason, obviously things are going to be determined in free agency. But I look at Leonard Taylor's game here, and his pass rush win rate was good, almost 15%, which is a really good number for defensive tackles, that courtesy of Pro Football Focus. Didn't always lead to sacks this year, but he got pressure a lot. And, you know, how do the Bears feel about Javon Dexter? Do they bring back Justin Jones? Those are questions that Chicago has to answer. But I think at minimum, bringing in rotation guys makes sense, which I think Leonard Taylor could be that right away. And again, free agency is going to dictate a lot. Do the Bears take a swing at Chris Jones? Do they bring in a high-paid edge like a Danielle Hunter or someone like that? So it's all about asset management if you're Ryan Poles, but Taylor in the 3rd, 4th round, I think, is about the proper range for him. Now, which are you most excited for this offseason? Is it the draft? If so, type draft. Or is it free agency? Type F. I think for me, it's the draft with the number 1 pick, all that chatter. It's going to be a fun offseason in that regards. But free agency is going to be fun too, man. We're going to cover it both. So don't forget to subscribe to Bears Now. All right, round 4 we go. Bucky Irving, the running back out of Oregon, who I think in round 4 is just a home run pick here. I mean, really productive for the Ducks, over 1,100 yards. He catches the football well, too, which I like. I like running backs that can catch the ball. I mean, you see how impactful a Christian McCaffrey is in the Super Bowl on Sunday. Like, even when he's not gashing Kansas City on the ground, he still caught enough passes to get 80 yards through the air. You know, Irving's not to that level, obviously, but he can do some of that. Deontay Foreman's a free agent. You know, Travis Homer's mostly a special teams guy. You know, you need another back. You're going to have to bring in a running back. And, you know, whether it's a rotation guy like this that you get in the draft, or you're going to upgrade at RB1 in free agency with Saquon or Derrick Henry or Josh Jacobs, those are all different options. But if they go the rotation route, I think Bucky Irving in the NFL draft makes a ton of sense. Ah, yes, our sweet prince is back. Sedrick Van Pran, the Georgia center, round 4, pick number 117. You know, Dane Brugler the other day said he's anywhere from a 3rd to 5th round guy, so you kind of get him in the middle of the 4th here. He grades out pretty well. I think the thing with Van Pran, the more I've watched him, is he's solid, but he's not really special at anything. Like, he doesn't have overwhelming size. He doesn't have overwhelming athleticism, but I still think he can be a starter in this league. Now, is he going to be a high-level starter like a Creed Humphrey or something like that? Probably not. I don't think he's in Jackson Powers Johnson class at all. But maybe this is a scenario where you sign a vet like a Coleman Shelton or something like that to a 1 or 2 year deal. Draft Sedrick Van Pran as the backup, develop him, and maybe he's your starter in 2025. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to have draft rumors, trade ideas, and much more this offseason, so don't miss out on any of it. Hit that subscribe button here on Chicago Bears Now. We'll have more mock drafts, obviously, as we're already 15 deep. Might as well keep it rolling. So hit that sub button and join the channel today. Tahj Washington, the USC wide receiver, who obviously teammates of Caleb Williams. So if you bring in Caleb, bring in a guy that he's comfortable with, if the opportunity is there, certainly an avenue that the Bears could go. I'll mention USC running back Marshawn Lloyd, too, as a potential guy you could bring in at the running back position. But Washington, 5'9", 5'10", 175, 180 pounds. Maybe this is your Darnell Mooney type of replacement, a guy who's explosive. He's got good speed. He can play the slot for you. He's probably like a wide receiver 4 as a rookie, but he could grow into being like that true number 3, be a slot guy. So certainly like the idea of that, like the idea of bringing in a receiver Caleb's played with before if the Bears decide to go that route. And then Grayson Murphy, actually the brother of Gabriel Murphy, both played at UCLA, pass rushers there for the Bruins. And Grayson is kind of their third edge rusher behind Latu and his brother Gabriel. Was pretty productive, had 5 sacks, 9 TFLs. He was kind of a situational pass rusher. I think that's probably what he projects in the NFL as well. That's why you get him in the 5th round here. And again, you need more pass rushers. So bringing in a guy like this on day 3 to develop makes some sense. So there you have it. Bears mock draft 15.0 in the books. You get the Caleb Williams, Brian Thomas combo after trading down from 9. Tykee Smith and Leonard Taylor there in the 3rd round. Bucky Irving, the running back out of Oregon. Sedrick Van Pran, the Georgia center. And Tahj Washington, the USC receiver in the 4th. And then Grayson Murphy, the edge out of UCLA in the 5th. Also added a future 2nd-round pick in the process as well. Add that up. Grade this mock draft scale from 1 to 100. If I completely failed, type like a 20. If you thought I aced it, give me a 95. Or anywhere in between, go ahead and give me a number grade on today's mock. That'll do it for Bears Mock Draft 15.0. Appreciate everybody who made it to the end of the video. If you did, shout out to all of you. Hit that sub button, and we'll be back with more content.